The Great Depression was a turning point in history because it exposed unchecked capitalism and led to worldwide poverty, unemployment, and social unrest. The Great Depression is one of the most devastating disasters for the global economy. As businesses collapsed and unemployment inflated immensely, millions found themselves without jobs, homes, or hope, resulting in breadlines, bank runs, and the fall of the world economy, remarkably changing the world of economics.
The Great Depression was a severe economic crisis in the early 20th century. During the 1920s, there was a lot of economic growth and cultural change. This period was called the Roaring Twenties because of the rise of consumerism, mass production, and the stock market boom. People believed that the market would always go up, so they invested heavily, borrowing money to buy stocks in the margin, causing a dangerous bubble that burst on October 29, 1929, also known as Black Tuesday. This panic led to a mass sell-off of stocks, and banks started to fail. People lost their life savings, and businesses lost their funding, leading to a tripling economic downturn. The Great Depression was not just about the numbers on the stock ticker, it was about real people. Millions of people were affected, and it caused poverty and unemployment to skyrocket. The economic disaster spread globally, affecting countries and created a domino effect that put the world in a prolonged period of economic hardship. In response to the crisis, President Franklin D. Roosevelt implemented a series of bold reforms known as the New Deal. These initiatives aimed to stabilize the economy, provide relief, and set the stage for recovery. The Great Depression impacted human lives and communities, and the New Deal helped to provide much needed support during a tough time.
Government stepped in with unusual ways to stabilize economies, thus the New Deal. President Franklin D. Roosevelt brought the New Deal to inspire hope in the nation. The plan included many programs and initiatives addressing the manufacturing challenges of the era. By creating millions of jobs through public work programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps (CCC) and the Work Progress Administration (WPA), the New Deal not only put people back to work but also revitalized infrastructures and beautified public spaces. Additionally, the New Deal provided unknown relief measures like the Federal Emergency Relief Administration, which offered direct assistance to individuals and families, providing a lifeline to millions struggling to make ends meet. The establishment of Social Security was a groundbreaking commitment to ensuring economic security for retirees and vulnerable populations, fundamentally transforming the social safety net in America. The New Deal also ushered in a new era of labor rights and protections, with the National Labor Relations Act (NLRA) empowering workers to organize and bargain collectively, resulting in fair wages, safer work conditions, and greater economic justice. Beyond its immediate economic and social impacts, the New Deal fostered a sense of solidarity and resilience among Americans. It showed that the government could be a force of good and create a more compassionate and equitable society. The New Deal was a pivotal moment in American history that left a profound and lasting impact for generations. Its impact affected the years of the Great Depression, leaving an unforgettable mark on history.
The Great Depression hit farmers hard. Agricultural prices fell, consumer demand decreased, and overproduction worsened the situation. There were widespread foreclosures and bankruptcies as farmers struggled to repay loans and mortgages. Rural poverty increased, forcing many farming families to leave their homes in search of work, contributing to significant rural to urban migration. Environmental challenges, including soil erosion and the Dust Bowl phenomenon, further compounded the difficulties faced by farmers, particularly in regions like the Great Plains. The U.S. government responded to the challenges faced by farmers during the Great Depression by implementing relief and recovery programs, including the Agricultural Adjustment Act (AAA) and the Farm Security Administration (FSA). These programs tried to stabilize agricultural prices and assist farmers who struggled financially through subsidies and loans. However, the AAA was controversial, as it led to the destruction of crops and livestock at a time when many Americans were struggling with food shortages and poverty. The FSA enforced resettlement programs to help struggling farmers relocate to more fertile lands or receive training for alternate employment opportunities. Before the Great Depression, American farmers experienced a period of mixed fortunes in the wake of World War I. They benefited from a post-war boom, from high demand for agricultural products, both domestically and internationally. This demand, coupled with technological advances such as mechanized farm equipment, led to an increase of efficient productivity, contributing to a sense of prosperity. However, this prosperity was not consistent. More mechanized farms often fared better than smaller, less efficient operations. Despite the appearance of success, Many farmers relied heavily on credit to finance their operations, leading in rising debt levels and financial vulnerability. While others invest in modern conveniences, others face challenges in maintaining their livelihoods. This uneven distribution of wealth within the agricultural sector will leave many farmers ill-prepared for the economic hardships that would follow with the onset of the Great Depression.
The Great Depression helped change the typical society to a more aware and open-minded community. It caused protests for social justice, labor rights, and economic equality as people came together to demand change and hold the government accountable for its actions. These protests for civil rights caused transformative social movements that shaped the course of history. Additionally, the suffering during the Great Depression prompted governments to implement social welfare programs to provide relief, marking a significant shift in social attitudes towards poverty and economic inequality. This period also saw changes in family dynamics as the traditional gender roles shifted, with women often becoming the primary breadwinners due to high unemployment rates among men. Moreover, the economic strain of the Great Depression took a toll on physical and mental health, leading to widespread malnutrition, inadequate healthcare, and increased rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide. Cultural and artistic expression also reflected the social and economic upheaval of the time, with many artists, writers, and musicians drawing inspiration from the themes of hardship, resilience, and social justice during this time period. During the Great Depression, people across America experienced profound economic hardship and desperation. A 12-year-old girl, in a letter to President Roosevelt, expressed her financial struggles faced by his family. This may seem very strange for a girl 12 years old to do, but my father is a poor, honest working laundryman, and he works on a percentage a week. We have 10 in our family, and my father does not have enough money to get him a bottle of beer. Similarly, Candace Golf, in requesting a spring coat from the Roosevelts, emphasizes the devastating impact of the drought on their farm. We were hit very hard by the drought, and every penny we can save goes for feed to put in the crop. Another anonymous 12-year-old boy conveyed desperate circumstances. My father hasn't worked in 5 months. He went plenty times to relief. He filled out application. They won't give us anything. I don't know why. Please you do something. We haven't paid 4 months' rent. Every day the landlord rings the bell. We don't open the door for him. We are afraid that been put out before, and don't want it to happen again. We haven't paid the gas bill and the electric bill. Haven't paid the grocery bill for 3 months. The struggles in these letters give the sense of helplessness, fear, and desperation that let us know the experiences of countless families during the Great Depression as they face unemployment, poverty, and the constant threat of eviction and deprivation.
The Great Depression had immense consequences throughout the globe. Economic chaos led to widespread unemployment and poverty, but also helped create political instability, opening for the rise of extremist political movements. This instability, worsened by economic hardship, contributed significantly to the outbreak of World War II. The Great Depression prompted countries to reassess their economic policies, leading to the adoption of various ideologies, such as communism, as governments sought solutions to alleviate the suffering of their populations. International trade suffered a severe blow during the Great Depression as well. Many nations responded by implementing protectionist measures like tariffs and trade barriers.
However, these measures had unintended consequences, including declines in global trade volumes.
The Great Depression is one of the most impactful turning points in history, for there have been more strict regulations, more awareness, political conflicts, and much more powerful actions in modern society. As we reflect on this influential moment in history, we learn the importance of learning from the past to build a better future.